The wild ride of Egypt's first dynasty. Hey history buffs, forget Cleopatra's eyeliner and Tut's golden mask for a minute. We're diving way back, like way back, to the first dynasty of Egypt. We're talking around 2900 BC, folks. That's roughly 5,000 years ago. Buckle up, because this is where Egypt went from a bunch of villages to a unified kingdom. Before this, it was all prehistory, whispers in the wind, but then, bam! Egypt enters recorded history. The game changer? Writing. Finally, they could keep track of who was boss and what epic stuff went down. Imagine trying to run an empire without writing. Guys would say, hey, remember that flood last Tuesday? Nope, chaos. So, legend says a dude named Menes unified Upper and Lower Egypt. Sounds simple, right? Well, the historians love to argue, and they're not so sure about Menes. Was he real? Was he a combo of different rulers? The plot thickens. Enter Narmer, a strong contender for the Unifier of Egypt title. We've got evidence. The Narmer Palette is like a comic book showing him smacking enemies and looking generally powerful. Talk about making a statement. Maybe Narmer kicked off the first dynasty. Maybe he just set the stage. Either way, things were changing fast. Aha, Narmer's successor, definitely solidified royal power. He wasn't messing around. They built massive tombs at Abydos. These weren't your average burial plots, they were statements of power. And get this, they established Memphis as the first capital city of Egypt. Talk about a glow up. Kingship became a powerful, expensive business. You gotta spend money to make money, even in ancient Egypt. Egypt started flexing its muscles and expanding its territory. They weren't content with just the Nile Valley. They pushed into southern Palestine, the Sinai Peninsula, and even Nubia. Talk about ambitious. This expansion had a major impact. Cultures like the A group in Nubia declined or disappeared. History is complicated, folks. Let's just say their foreign policy was enthusiastic. They really wanted to make new friends or at least new subjects. With all this expansion, administration became crucial. You can't run an empire on vibes alone. Writing became essential for managing taxes, tributes, and trade. Gotta keep those coffers full. And then, the invention that changed everything. Papyrus. Finally, a portable writing material. Papyrus revolutionized record keeping. Imagine lugging around stone tablets everywhere. No thanks. Around 2800 BC, King Din took the throne. This is where things really started to get fancy. Egypt became richer than ever. All that expansion and trade paid off. Tombs became even more elaborate. They were basically ancient Egyptian mansions for the afterlife. Craftsmanship reached new heights. They were making stone vases that would make modern artists jealous. And get this, King Din introduced new royal titles like the Two Ladies and Dual King. Talk about branding. The first dynasty transformed Egypt. It went from scattered villages to a centralized kingdom. It set the stage for everything that came after. The pyramids, the pharaohs, the whole shebang. They developed a rich cultural heritage that still fascinates us today. Not bad for a bunch of folks who lived 5,000 years ago. So, remember the first dynasty. It was a time of ambition, innovation, and probably some pretty dramatic fashion choices.